Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of The Hard Choice. My name is Brad Draper. I am your host, and I am grateful to be here. If you are looking at the YouTube channel, hint, hint, look at the YouTube channel, things look differently. I might even sound a little differently. I know everything about this podcast is changed. Yet it's exactly the same because we're evolving. We're moving forward. We've always done that from the beginning, right? You take action, action proceeds. You have an iteration and an iteration and an iteration. I'm going to take you back a little bit. Just barely, like 2 hours ago. Like I said, for those that are watching, I'm in a new space and I'm figuring it out. And that takes time. I actually recorded this episode already. And then when I was uploading it for the YouTube channel and for everything else, the audio wasn't there. It was on the file, but when I put the file in the software, no audio. It took almost an hour to set my cameras up. So much frustration. It's in pivoting though. I'm in a new space. You can't expect to get something right the first time. But movement equals life. Remember that. Movement equals life. Stagnation equals death. If you just sit around and wait, hoping things will change, guess what? They're not going to change. But they will change when you move, when you take action. When you figure it out. It doesn't always go the way you thought it would. Many times it goes better than you thought it would. But that takes learning. There is no failure, only feedback. So, I'm in this new space. Why? I'd made mention on previous episodes that I was leaving the career I was in and going full-time on me, full-time in my consultancy. But did that cause distress? Did that cause chaos? No. Why? Because I was prepared. Fear comes when you have lack of preparation. But when you're prepared, you're just excited. Excited for what is to come in the growth opportunities that you have in life. When you're prepared, you're taking action. And in action, you get a thing called Big Mo, momentum. How does that mythical unicorn exist? Momentum. It does not just sporadically, like magic fairy dust, sprinkle on your life and you all of a sudden have it. No. You build it. You build it by small and simple things. Action precedes action. Precept upon precept, line upon line. Said that backwards, but that's okay. Line upon line and precept upon precept. By a flaxen cord. I've spoken about flaxen cords before. A flaxen cord is a very thin, very fine piece of string. So thin it's almost invisible. But you stack enough of them, it can tow a cruise ship. How cool is that? So my previous 3 episodes to this episode right now were recorded back to back to back. I usually record once a week. In fact, I haven't missed a single week, 37 weeks, unbroken. There were weeks I didn't want to record. There were times that I wasn't feeling it. If you think back or go back to listen, you'll hear episodes where I said, this is the second time I recorded it because I wasn't feeling it the first time. Truth of the matter, I didn't feel it the second time either, but I still produced it. I kept moving. I had a message that it needed to be said, and I've actually heard from people they really enjoyed that episode, but I wasn't feeling it. You're not always going to be motivated to do what you need to do. But you need to be disciplined to continue the habit of moving forward. That's the cool thing about habits, actually. The more you do it, the more you identify with it, the more it becomes you. And in becoming you, instead of being so difficult to get it done, it becomes difficult to not do it because you wrapped yourself around it. How cool is that? If you wrap a habit around something that moves the needle. So Big Mo, chipping away, slowly but surely, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until you have so much momentum that it is very difficult to stop. Why? Because it is who you are. It's your identity on whatever that is. So, the last 3 episodes, I recorded 3 back to back to back. Why? I knew I was leaving where I did these episodes. The space that I had, though it looked like a studio, was actually just my office. Did not look pretty, but I transformed it. It is amazing what you can do with a little creativity and some thought. I just had a conversation today with someone that didn't move forward because it wasn't perfect. They didn't know what to do because they didn't have a specialty. Well, how about you just start acting and do something? In the case of my studio, it was actually just my office where I turned the lights out, put up some lights, put on a camera, and pressed go. Now, for those that are watching, again, shameless plug for my YouTube, I'm in an actual studio, recording with all kinds of studio grade and professional grade lights, which I'm so grateful to be blessed to be here. But I didn't know I was going to be here. I recorded 3 episodes back to back to back to give myself enough time, 3 weeks, to find a space to record. I tried looking in my house and where I could go. Wasn't a very feasible option. I looked at other locations, and then this studio, which is my friend's studio, he said I could use it for the time being, which I'm so grateful for. But I had to learn. Had to set up. For those that are watching, I have multiple cameras. That's cool. That's a first for me. I have new lights. I'm gaining and sharpening this new skill. But I went a week without recording. Last week, I only needed to miss 1 week. My 37-week streak, 38-week streak, broke. I'm now on week 1. That 1 week missed caused me a little bit of momentum loss. Truth be told, I was telling my wife over the weekend, I did not really want to record this episode as badly as previous episodes when I had a ton of momentum. The 1 week missed kind of slashed it a little bit, which meant even more so that I needed to act right here, right now. I had to get it done as fast as I could to build that momentum again, because again, it is not some mystical fairy dust. It is by taking continuous, repetitive, there's my word, action. We're not perfect, and that's okay. Imperfect action is better than waiting for perfected action. Not even sure that made sense, but it made sense in my head. So we're going to roll with it. How important it is to take action each and every week. In the case of these episodes, I need to record every week. Rain, shine, sickness, health, it doesn't matter. You get in front of the camera, you get in front of the mic, and you press record. In your life, action precedes action, and where you focus, you find. You must continually take steps because in stagnation, you die. I've spoken about the fact that you are either growing or decaying so many times in this series. And to think I'm on episode 41 is wild. I recently heard that if you clear episode 21, you're in the top 1% because most people quit by then. Man, I'm only just getting started. I'm just figuring it out. I have a completely new iteration of this show right now in a new space with new microphones, new cameras, new lights, new backdrop, new everything. It looks different. Episode 40. Double where most people stop. In your life, are you stopping too early to allow momentum to truly build? Looking after that shiny object, that woman in the red dress syndrome, here to there because you get bored or it didn't move as fast as you wanted it to. I've spoken about the fact that this podcast only sees about 17 downloads a week. That's it. 17. Who are you comparing yourself against? The person that doesn't even start, so they have 0 downloads? Or the person that is 800 episodes in and they have 1 million downloads in 1 week? Comparison is the thief of joy. If you're trying to compare yourself to those people that are so far ahead of you, it gets pretty daunting. And then you stop acting. If I were to sit here and say, I don't have very many downloads, so I'm probably going to stop because I'm not reaching very many people. The reality is, I reach me. I think, because I ponder about these episodes and I grow. And I've had conversations with dozens of people at this point about my podcast. I didn't even know listen to it. And they tell me, keep going. That episode landed for me. My life changed because of this or that you said in your episode. And that is so cool. If I affect one life, it was all worth it. In your life, what are you holding back because you think it's not worth it? You don't see the immediate gratification. Therefore, you give up. Not allowing Big Mo to come take over. Where in your life are you cutting off the head of what could be simply because whatever reason you created in your mind? That is how I want to land this plane. That is how I want to close this conversation. Where can you grow? And if you're wondering what to do today, because, action precedes action, what if you do a little bit more of what you're already doing? Have you considered that? The power of one more. And instead of trying to find new things to add on, why don't you just do a little bit more? One more rep of what you're already doing. And in that, you're compounding. Compounding and momentum. 2 magical superpowers. Oh my goodness. Take those and think about that. Have this conversation with your friends, your family, your loved ones. Leave me a review. Have the conversation with me. Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon. Let those people around you know who you are. Stand up. Take action. And place your focus where you truly want things. And finally, make today beautiful. Like it, subscribe to it, download it for future listenings. Until next week, I love you guys. Bye.